Oh, great, Ivan. Good morning to you, and welcome to the National Critics' Choice.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's well, good morning, good night, or good evening to everyone out there on the web. And here it is, Nightlife Confidential Volume 1 by Ivan Lim.
And Kara Van Miriam, my wife.
Oh yes, and his wife Kara, not to forget that. By the way, I'm Robin. For those who don't know, now you finally met the guy who created the National Critics' Choice. All this, well, not just me, but someone else as well. But here it is, Nightlife Confidential. It's a very interesting book, now available at all bookstores in Singapore and elsewhere, and you probably even get it on Amazon.com. Well, first of all, about this book, Nightlife, I mean, not to be too serious about it, but it seems to me that the topics that they talk about is so cool, especially, about dance and women and everything. Tell us what inspired you.
It's a humor book.
Oh,
It's actually stories that about things that happen when Kara and I go out. You see, Kara and I have made a lifestyle choice. Our main entertainment is going out to parties.
Oh.
So weekends or sometimes on weekdays when we can, we would go and look at clubs and places that are opening, places that have opened for some time, and things that have interesting entertainment. So what we do is we will go and go to a few places a week, and what happens is when we do these things, right, both in our leisure time as well as in our time in our work. Yeah, because Kara was a nightlife journalist at the Straits Times, and I did a column in the newspaper. So between the two of us, we've got like close to 20 years maybe of experience in the nightlife, either going out or either just going out and experiencing it, or as writers,
Oh, okay.
as reporters covering the beat. Yeah, so this book is like some of the stories that some of the things that have happened, right? That people don't see, and essentially for me, the purpose of doing something like this is to tell people that if you don't go out, you can't experience kind of things, funny things that happen. Yeah.
Oh, so is that how you met Kara, that is now your wife today?
The thing about Kara is I met her like quite some time ago. I don't think she was a reporter then. Maybe she was. She was writing for this paper called Street when I was formally introduced to her. But we never like hooked up until like say 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what really inspired you to write Nightlife Confidential Volume 1?
Well, you can say that it is an extension of what we are. You see, Kara and I are writers, and so what happens is we actually both left the newspapers to do our own thing, which essentially is writing books. Our first project was Kumar's, the drag queen's biography. So following that, we did this book called this is a book for number 5, the 20th anniversary, Annual Hill. Kara, before she left, she did the Zook's anniversary book as well. And so we sort of like felt that this is something we wanted to pursue, and we felt that it was. While we have the opportunity to be creative in the newsroom, right, working as reporters, we found that this was a bit more of that we could express ourselves even better. Yeah, so we took the step and left our respective newspapers last year in June to come up with these things. Yeah, so this nightlife series was something that we had been thinking about for a long time. We were wondering how to do it. So what happens is we realized that the things that were most engaging, right, were the stories, the funny stories that we talk about, or things happening. So it's like after we go out, right, and then during the week we'll talk about what happened last weekend, and we laugh about it, and we realize that yeah, we could write about these things happening that have happened. Yeah? And we felt that this was a good way to engage people through humor.
So speaking about humor, Nightlife right now, Confidential Volume 1 is one of the best-selling in Singapore and perhaps even in Malaysia, so please don't miss it. But I do have a question about the book itself, Volume 1. Has there been a lot of feedback of some peculiar jokes that you have in this subject?
Well, I think the most compelling one is, from what I've heard, I mean, like people telling me is they found that they like the what we talk about, the freeloaders. The freeloaders, because the thing is, I think in every group of friends, right, you will find one or two people like that, maybe many of them like that. They will be very slow to remove their wallets when when the bill comes, right? Or they'll make themselves scarce when it's time to pay, right? And then they'll pretend to forget. And usually when there's so much alcohol going on, right, people are having a nice buzz, so they don't really take care of these things.
Yeah.
So the more generous ones would like pay, take
Oh,
the
wow.
bill, right? And then the rest would, I mean, or the freeloader would quietly escape paying. And this is something I notice a lot. In fact, not so much me, but my wife Kara. Because when going out, right, I think because I become like recognizable as a face in the press and in the party scene as well, right? So most of the staff, right, would know who I am. So whenever we go into a club, right, the waitress or waiter, right, or barman would usually ask me what my group wants to order. Yeah? So it's like automatic, okay. And the thing is, I tend to be quite decisive when it comes to drinking. so I said, yeah, come on. Like, Robin, what do you want to drink? What do you want to drink? And you tell me what you want, and I'll order it, and it comes. And the thing is, because of that, the bill also automatically comes to me. Right? I mean, you're a nice guy. You would take out your wallet and offer to buy a round of drinks, or maybe even to like for the whole night. But there are some who would quietly not. Who would pretend, who would just like take it for granted that Ivan's paying.
So just pretend.
Yeah,
I
like
see.
blur.
Yeah, but does that remind me? Be careful, guys and girls. Don't there always be a freeloader? And I think I got a question for that. How do you identify a freeloader? That's interesting. Have you come up with some kind of a peculiar consensus or?
I think you just take a mental note, right, of what's happening whenever the bill
A
comes.
mental note.
Yeah, whoever responds when the bill comes, or sometimes when they go out, most people will say that, let me buy this round, or when the bill comes to split the bill. There are some people who just pretend as if nothing has happened, as if paying for their drinks is your privilege because the company is so great. Well, actually, no. Usually I find that it is the most boring people who are the worst freeloaders.
Oh, so how do you get rid of them?
Huh? How do I get rid of them apart from sending them an invoice?
We should find a way to write a book about getting rid of freeloaders.
Well, I mean, it is dealt with one of the topics down there. But what Nightlife Confidential did, right? What Kara and I did was we designed a few posters. If you go on our website, just as a joke, like when these loan sharks they spray on the walls, right? O dollar, P dollar, right? Like O money, pay money, right?
Okay.
So what we did was we did a poster like that, just as a joke, and we said that okay, you can feel free to download this and send to your friends who don't pay for their share of the night's drinks.
Oh,
so
and what's your website?
It's called typewriter.sg, but we have also nightlifeconfidential.sg,
Okay.
and that's where all our Nightlife Confidential series.
You hear that? It's nightlifeconfidential.sg.
Yeah, one word.
One word, just one word.
Full stop.
And so, is there any regrets in writing this book so far right now? If you turn back the clock right now, would you ever do this?
Well, if I've had any regrets, it is not starting earlier.
Really? Oh, why is this so?
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to, but we did not think of how we could do it. And the thing is, obviously, it is not inexpensive to produce a book. See, I mean, without actually telling you how much it cost us, but I mean, in terms of time, we had a time after like leaving the papers, right? But obviously, there's like printing costs, there's production costs, and like for the cartoons and illustrations, we need to engage someone because I'm not I'm not someone who would draw. Eh? Yeah. So what happens is we needed to do that, and we were lucky in the sense that we got someone to back us up on this. So Shivers Job, Pernod Ricard, they are our main sponsors for this series.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was all very nice because the thing is we were talking about it and thinking of how we should do it, right? And Kara and I decided at the end of last year that we would launch this series on our own anyway. Make money or not, we don't care. Because for us, we just want to do this. Right? And the thing is, the word got out and Shivers reacted to it quite fast.
Oh.
They actually asked us, like, where do we sign? Can we? Is there like an application form we can come to like be to back you up on this? And I said, hey, I mean, we can agree on all this on a handshake. Yeah, and so.
Oh, that's a rare thing.
Yeah.
Nobody agrees on a handshake these days. So wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not everybody needs a dotted line.
Yeah,
So
but it was all very very civilized, you know. And the thing is, based on the fact that we have become like known in the market, right? As I mean, in the industry, as reporters for the nightlife, as journalists for nightlife, I think Shivers bought into that more than anything. And I mean, they felt that the stories were compelling, you know, and they wanted to align themselves.
well, Shivers, thank you for this book. Well,
We even made this thing for them.
oh wow.
sort of a bottle-shaped bookmark.
Can you believe it? A small bubble-shaped bookmark by Shivers. Wow, as part of this book.
Yeah.
And
So my joke to the freeloaders is, it comes with a bottle of Shivers.
oh, I see. Yeah, it's a joke, you know, for freeloaders in New York. Beware. And so, was there a mentor in your life that inspired you to be who you are as one of the best writers in Southeast Asia? I mean, you started out as a journalist for some time, you know, and your style of writing and so forth. Was there an influence that actually motivates you?
Well, the thing is, I have always respected writers, and I wouldn't consider myself like the best or even among the best. Essentially, writing is what I do, really, and I'd rather not compare because we're all doing very different things. What happens is during my stint as a journalist in the newspaper and writing all these columns, right, nightlife columns, right, to me it's always the reader, the reader that's the most important. And while I do not model myself after any particular writer, I've always been conscious of the end user of what I'm doing. You see, that means to say, if I write a story, right, the biggest reward, right, is not some award I win, but if a reader comes to me and says, Ivan, I like your story, that to me is the biggest reward.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing else. Oh, not even a paycheck.
Well, I mean, the paycheck is necessary. Yeah.
Remember, the paycheck is important.
Yeah, I mean, well, we all need to pay our bills, you know,
Yes.
we need, and the thing is, I mean, being a writer has paid off a lot of my bills, right? But the thing is, but the most rewarding part of it all is when you get a reader who's happy, you see? And in a way, it's quite funny because sometimes people just remember me for like what I do, and they come and say, "Are you the newspaper guy? You know? Are you the Ivan Lim guy?"
Oh.
Yeah. So that to me is the most gratifying part of.
But do you have any stalkers?
Huh?
Did anyone stalk?
Well, nothing really dangerous, or nothing really. That,
Not even once for the last 10 years or so?
I had some strange ones, like, you know, people emailing me and like asking for strange things,
Huh.
strange phone calls, like telling me that I'm a role model and therefore I should like give my life to God and things.
Oh, okay.
So it was a bit creepy, but no, I mean they were not persistent. So yeah.
Now, having spent so much time in a nightlife scene, you know, how did you control your drinking habits? I mean, isn't that hazardous? I mean, you had to try different drinks and martinis and you know, and so forth. You know, is there a secret that you have?
Well, from very early on, I realized that I had a very big capacity for alcohol also. So I don't get drunk quickly. Right. Having said that, I try not to get drunk either. So the alcohol, the drinks are there for you to enjoy, you know, and they are to serve you, not the other way. I've seen some of my friends become alcoholics, and it's a bit sad when they need only to drink. Like for me, I can go for days without alcohol, it's okay. But when it's there, I'm happy. Like when we're out having drinks, I mean,
Is there is there any peculiar drink that you've seen so far that comes to your liking, you know, in nightlife here in Singapore? There's tons of
there are loads of drinks, there are loads of alcohols, there are so many cocktails. Singapore's a great place for cocktails, I think.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but I tend to stick to whiskey.
Ah,
Yeah, Scotch is my poison of choice.
oh really?
So I suppose it was that, and that's why she was when they realized
whiskey.
they wanted to. Yeah.
Whiskeys.
Because whiskey has always been my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, folks, whiskey is here in Singapore, and whiskey live is coming to Singapore sometime in May. And so, speaking about whiskey, is there any peculiar brand that you're kind of like been eyeing every time you are in a whiskey bar?
Well, I do enjoy my malt whiskies, right? But like for single malt whiskies, I feel that it is not so much part of the. It could be, but I don't find it like very suitable for a party experience so much as it is for a time when like say you and I are at a bar and having a serious conversation. That's when I feel that malt whiskey is very nice. Then we can savor it nicely and enjoy
Ah.
the complexities of the whiskey. And whereas in a party situation, she was still it's very good. That's, I mean, not to say that it's because they are all backers, but Shivers is already a premium brand, right? And the very whiskey Shivers stuff is blended, right? So it is quite delicate, and it still has got its character that and it's quite forgiving in the sense that when you put water or ice or ginger ale, which is one of my favorites. It works. Some people put green tea inside. I mean, I think it's horrible, but I mean, if they like it, then by all means, I'm not going to control
I
how they
think we
drink
would
it.
do that in New York. But in any case, you know, in your upcoming book, Volume 2. Now, guys, they're going to have a Volume 2 soon, so don't miss this. Nightlife Confidential Volume 2. Are you going to include your encounter with whiskies?
Well, that is dealt with in Volume 1.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In Volume 2, we are dealing with music. Okay. So this Nightlife Confidential, we have already mapped out a series of 4 books for this year. We will plan something for next year, but that's next year's story. But for now, Volume 1 is essentially an introduction of the people that you see in nightlife, a general feel of what happens here. Volume 2 is about the entertainers, the musicians, the DJs. It's for people who like, you see, going out at night, it's not simply having a drink, right? It's meeting people, it's the company you have, it's the place you go to, the ambience, the entertainment, right? And very often, the entertainment, right, determines the ambience of the place, not just the decor, right? A live music pub will have its own kind of feel. Right? A club like say Zouk would have its own feel as well. If you went to some place like say St. James Power Station, you see a variety of things, and everyone's a different experience. So the entertainment within a pub, right, or a night spot would generally determine the kind of people that go there. Right? If you're the quiet sort who likes a quiet night out, you probably prefer a quiet cocktail bar where they play very down-tempo, chill-out music, okay, where you can have conversation. If you like something more intense, some people will go to like those Mando pop joints like Shanghai Dolly, where the music is a lot more intense. The other live music places also, like if you headed down to somewhere like what place is that, Balaclava, right? Where they got live musicians, but it's the jangly guitars, and yeah, so so different sorts of entertainment would attract different sorts of people. So this book, the next book deals with like we actually introduce a few musicians, um, people whom we think are good, and who would like who would be worth visiting, DJs as well as live
Are you
performers.
going to include comedy as well? No.
Not for that one. It's mainly the music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just for the music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I heard that the comedy scene in Singapore is also growing, and I thought, would that be a possibility in your future projects?
I wouldn't say no. It is not something that I could probably spend an entire book on, you know. But yeah, I could possibly deal with it in a chapter in a later volume. Yeah, it is interesting how it works, and you'll see that in many places, right, they have like even in a Mando club or in a place like say Boiler Room, you know, where you get performers performing, and they'll have this like birthday segment, and they bring people up, and they do try to have a little bit of banter, a bit of comedy, because when you drink and you're happy, generally your laughter would add to the atmosphere. Yeah. But it needs to be done well.
Oh, okay.
And I think sometimes if you have like specifically clubs that are specifically on comedy, right? Like if you were to head to something like say Kumar Show, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it could work as well, but what I feel is that it needs to be done well, right? And the performer must be engaging, and so that he becomes part of the whole nightlife experience.
Okay. Now, there's another question to that. Do Singaporeans know how to party? Or, I mean, all Asians know how to party? You know, in New York, last week there was a great party organized Singapore Day, I'm sorry.
Singapore Day, yeah.
Yes, in New York City. And one of them wrote to me on Facebook saying that even Cheryl Tan, the great author in New York, said that, well, Singaporeans do not know how to party. Now, is that true? I mean, in your experience in your nightlife.
I think it's unfair generalization to make.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
It's how you it's how you enjoy yourselves. I think the Asian Singaporeans in particular, I find them a very they're quite reserved. I mean, they're not loud. You know? They're not yeah. So they're a bit more reserved. So the way they party is also a bit more conservative. You
Okay.
see, but if you go to places like Zouk, there's always a great party there.
Oh, okay, okay. So the next generation, we're going to see a very loud partygoers.
Well, I don't know if loud is necessarily good. You know? You can have a party like say at a cocktail bar, right? And you're happy like getting a buzz and having a few drinks and
Oh.
laughing with friends.
So do you think that people are reserved because they feel that there's somebody out there regulating how loud they should be
Um,
in this fine society?
I don't think so. I get a feeling that in Singapore, right, partying is looked upon as a bad thing.
Oh,
Generally,
really?
I get the feeling from a lot of people like okay, if you're a pub owner, right, there's a lot of like stereotyping here. Pub owner, that's a bad guy. He's encouraging drinking. Drinking is a vice, that kind of thing. I mean, in excess, obviously it is, but if you enjoy your drink, right, and you like for Kara and I, it's a lifestyle choice we made. Right? That's our way of life, our entertainment. Well, I mean, we don't get into any trouble. In my 20 years of drinking, I've never got into a single fight. I've tried to break up a few.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, folks, I think what we have here is that Singapore does know how to party, except that I think we need more education on how to party. So please do get this book, Nightlife Confidential, Volume 1, from Ivan Lim, and his upcoming book in Volume 2, soon to come. When was that?
It's already in print, so
Okay.
we should expect it out anytime next week.
Oh, okay. So
But yeah, it might take a bit of time to get to the bookshops. So
But it won't be
possibly
available.
possibly by the end of this month.
Okay. But it will be
early-
available on Amazon as well soon.
It's available on our website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also available in the Singapore bookshops.
Oh.
Most of them would have it.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great. Once again, Ivan, thank you so much for joining us here at the National Critics' Choice. And the book review for Nightlife Confidential, please, is highly recommended, and I said so. And I think it's a really, truly great book. And once again, thank you.
Thank you.
And for your next book.
Ah.